Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, white, and three of his co-officers on the 25th of May 2020 murdered 46-year-old George Floyd, a black man, in Ambazonia, or the southern Cameroon, where La République du Cameroon have been carrying out a genocide war now for the past 4 years. 300 days after southern Cameroonian journalist Samuel Wazizi, as popularly known, was abducted by Cameroon's military. Turned out 300 days later that Samuel Wazizi died in the custody of Cameroon's military. Cameroon's government and its military kept the death of Samuel Wazizi away from all his loved ones and the entire southern Cameroonian population. This is an atrocity in the midst of a genocide. Which one is worse? The Bui Saga Part 2 and the continuous infighting within the Ambazonian Revolution. What message to Ambazonian revolutionary volunteers? These three major topics and other miscellaneous in this edition of Revolt Update. Thanks for joining in. My name is Silas Atekfo, an Ambazonian activist. Welcome back. My name is Silas Atekfo, an Ambazonian activist and the host of Revolt Update. If you're just joining us for the first time, please follow us on Facebook at Revolt Update, on Twitter at Updates Revolt, and also on YouTube on Revolt Up. Let me start with George Floyd, a black Minnesotan, an African-American Minnesotan, who was ruthlessly murdered by 4 white cops, police officers, in broad daylight in Minnesota. So police brutality in America is a phenomenon that personally I feel America needs help. And it is at a point where Americans don't trust themselves anymore to take care of this problem. America has been able to handle so many difficult issues, but America really finds it very difficult handling the issue of race. Of course, there is racism all over the world, but the difficulties that a strong and powerful and resourceful nation like America faces in managing a sensitive issue like this one baffles a lot of onlookers. Now, America that has put humans into space, all kinds of technology, all great thinkers have emerged from this very beautiful country. The inability for America to handle the issue of racism, and particularly this aspect of police brutality, is something that continues to bother some of us, especially of the black race. The continuous targeting of black men in America by the police, it's something that is well known. It is not. It is no more just an assumption. It is a fact that have been verified and documented. Every day, blacks and minorities continue to suffer a biased treatment from America's police force. Whatever this problem is, it's a systemic problem, and America has not found a way to deal with police brutality and racial injustice as far as in the criminal justice sector. Blacks and minorities are imprisoned more than any other race in this country. That aside, it's about George Floyd, who Derek Chauvin and 3 of his fellow officers murdered in broad daylight. Derek Chauvin, this police officer, had his neck on Mr. George Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes. I don't know how many of you can survive a minute of not breathing. I have gone through a situation where I struggled with my breath, so I know exactly what it means, what Mr. George Floyd was going through, laying on the floor with Mr. Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck for 9 minutes. For those of you who have watched this video, it is a very graphic video. I would not like to play it on this program, but the picture on your screen actually just puts the whole scenario in your mind. The whole video is very hard to watch, so I've just put this picture for your comprehension. So Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes, and during this time, the other officers who stood by and just watched him carry out this act also acting like it is something that they enjoyed. Mr. Derek also having Mr. Floyd in cuffs, stayed on his neck with his knee and acted like he was having fun, talking to the bystanders who were urging him not to do what he was doing. And at this time, none of the police officers that were with him saw anything wrong with what Mr. Chauvin was doing. These 4 cops recently have been charged with second-degree murder, and the lawyers for Mr. Floyd continue to ask for these charges to be uplifted to first-degree murder, which is totally justified. Americans, both blacks, white, Latino, of all races, have been protesting this murder in broad daylight and in cold blood of Mr. George Floyd. This phenomenon that black men and people of color continue to suffer in America is something that the general American public is sick and tired of. So something really needs to be done as far as policing in America is concerned. We have mothers who no more feel excited when an echography is done on them. Black mothers, of course, even white mothers who are having mixed children. They no longer feel comfortable when their echography shows that they are having a boy, because the era that we currently live in puts the black man at the mercy of very bad police officers who target black male and treat them like animals. We've seen this in so many cases across America. The protests that have been going on across America is totally an outrage that is justified. It's an outrage that needs attention, immediate attention from the American authorities. And sincerely, like I said in the opening, since the 1990s that police brutality continues to soar, I wonder, since nothing concrete have taken place, I begin to wonder if America really needs help from outside. For those of you watching this video and who are looking at what is going on in America from across the globe, from across the oceans, if you think you're in any position to offer solutions to America, perhaps it's time to make a proposal. Tell Americans how they can manage racism and the idea of racists living together in harmony, or just managing police brutality. Because of course we have all of those races in other countries, but the police brutality in America is very, very alarming. So this is something that America badly needs help with. And if you're out there with a solution, please, now is the time to stand up. Black people and black men, black mothers, black sisters, black Americans and blacks all over the world, they are sick and tired of this profiling and targeting of particularly their males for assassination. This is unacceptable in the 21st century, and we need solutions. Revolt Update will continue to monitor this story and bring you more updates on when the trial actually starts. Thank you. This is Silas Atefo.